Hi there, and welcome to Hell. My name is Trevor, and this is my dear friend Luke, and we are talking all things St. Pauli in English. What's there to say, Luke?
So we'll be discussing the 1-1 draw with Sandhausen at the Milan tour. A bit disappointing.
A bit more upbeat tempo with some enthusiasm into it, or is it gone?
I'm trying, mate. This is me trying to put enthusiasm into a 1-1 home draw with Sandhausen.
Fair enough. I think you're doing a great job of it. Yeah. Okay, good man. And how are you feeling? How's the knee? Because you're broken at the moment, right? Powering through?
Yeah, it's a bit fucked still. But yeah, I just have to not play football for a couple of weeks, I reckon. So
Yes.
Tonight you'll have some peace finally without me there.
Well, I'm not playing either. I'm sick.
Oh, that's right.
So we're both crocs at the moment. So, but we're still here. So, and you managed to get to the game. So, all standing that whole time must have been torture. And then you weren't rewarded with much on the pitch in terms of result. We'll get to that.
Yeah, actually, I was pretty fucking fuming after. I was not happy at all with the performance.
Twitter, I saw.
Yeah, that might have been fueled by a few too many beers. But I rewatched it today, and it wasn't as bad as I remember. Like maybe against the strength of the opposition, we should have done better. But there were more chances got created than I initially thought. We had opportunities to score, but once again, there's nobody there to finish them off.
Were they selling alcohol beer in the stadium again? Was that? It was a risk game. Okay, cool. Okay, so you took total
full advantage of that,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. Nice.
Too much so.
Yeah, right. And you just as an example, you're really getting into this, and because you even bought a new audio equipment thing. Is that right?
Hopefully you can hear the difference.
Yeah,
trying out a new mic. It's probably the cheapest one I could find, but still, it's an upgrade anyway.
Yeah, absolutely, man, for sure. And very cool, man. So let's jump right in. We've got a new segment called What We Said. So this is to kind of revisit stupid stuff that we said in the last podcast, like predictions and stuff. Not to see if we got it right, but just to see how stupid we really are. And I said 3-0 win, and we actually went for a 2-0 win. And we called ourselves at the time saying clean sheet, and I guess we're half right.
Yeah, it's the last time I'll be predicting a clean sheet for a while anyway.
Right, sweet, fair enough. Okay, cool. So that gives us an inkling as to your predictions against this for away to Regensburg. But there were no penalties this week, so we couldn't really settle that score.
True. Yeah, no real shouts for a penalty either.
No, I guess that debate rolls on until next time. I said Dashner was going to score. I said he's going to score 2 even, right? I think it's 2. That didn't happen.
He had his chances as well, Dashner.
He did. Yeah, that's why I was getting excited. He had his chances and didn't take any of them. Came close a few times, but
yeah. As if we needed any more evidence that we should have brought a striker into the club this summer. We have another 90 minutes that proves that unequivocally we need a goal scorer.
Well, we've been scoring goals, just not all a high enough percentage of our chances, I suppose, and that's our downfall ultimately, and conceding. So, yeah, I guess we'll jump into that. All right, sweet. Sandhausen. So the lineup. There were no real changes there, right?
Amenido came in. Yeah, that was the only change.
Expecting that? I think we questioned it and said about the striker pairing. I think everybody was, right? We thought Edelstein had done enough, right? And we talked about testing Amenido. Seems like that fell on good ears in Schultz and his team.
Yeah, not that it made a huge difference. I don't think Amenido had a bad game by any stretch, but we still looked pretty blunt up top. There were chances.
Did he have any clear-cut chances? I can't remember.
Amenido, no, not that I can remember really. They fell to Dashner and Zander actually whenever he came on.
Yeah,
had a couple of good chances.
I I think he had more chances in his cameo well, I can't even remember how long he's on the pitch for. So he came on in the what's it called? Something minute in the 86th minute and had 2 clear-cut chances. So I guess that's how football goes sometimes.
Give him a run out up top. Can't be any worse than what we're currently dealing with, can it?
Yep, that's fair enough. But the rest of the team is status quo. So Vasil, Saliakas, Nemeth, Medic, Pakarada, with Irvine, Smith and Hartl in the middle with Dashner, and Eggestein up top with Amin Yidor. And I don't think there's anybody from the Oppo that we picked out particularly. I think you mentioned Tribal, Tom Tribal.
Yeah, he came back into their starting 11. He was out injured. Other than him, I think yeah, well, I mean, they did really good at blocking off the passing lanes because we had like 70% possession or something, and so much of the ball. But they did a good job defensively, and he was a big part of that at the base of their midfield. They frustrated us just really, and then they had a couple opportunities themselves, not a whole lot, but they took one of them, unfortunately.
Well, you also pinpointed Kinsolby as well, someone to watch out for from former Haasfeld player, I think he was, right? And
yeah, that's right.
Came back to haunt us, which is absolutely fantastic.
Delighted for him, yeah.
Yeah, I've sent my best wishes via post to him. Oh man, crazy. But also interesting to see Smash not in the match day squad at all again.
Yeah, because we thought, maybe that was just for the last game, but
like a family holiday
something's gone wrong. I think all's not well between Smarsh and the club. If I had to guess, just good to go from like playing every match in the start of the season to now not even getting into the squad. It can't just be form. Yeah, very very strange.
Good luck. And hopefully he finds a game somewhere. Like he doesn't do a Lourdes Karius and just disappears overnight, right? It'd be good if because he's a good lad. He seems to have given it his all when he did play, and he did step in right with Vasil out. So maybe he'll find a game elsewhere.
Vasil nearly had a bit of a blunder himself. Did you see? There's one that sort of went between his hands, and he was lucky that it came out off the post. Then they might have been turning to Smarsh asking him to
send him a gift basket or something, some muffins. Hey, Smash, I know that we've fallen out recently, but as it turns out, it wasn't all that bad. God. Well, fingers crossed. Anyway, hopefully he's okay. But as we said, right, the flow of the game, it was statistically there were plenty of chances in this. I think in the first half and the second half, I just bombarded them. So there was 16 shots on goal. 16 attempts, 1 on target. Does that sum it up?
Yeah, it really does. And
it's bonkers.
We've been talking about this before as well, about how our midfield is able to control matches easily enough. Always look assured with the ball in possession. Like no problem at all with that. It's just there's no end product. Even the chances that we do create aren't really great chances. I don't know what the XG is on this match, but I don't think it'll be that high. There was even the goal, like it was a tough chance for Jackson to take that, and it was just a great header.
Wow, it's like textbook attacking header, right? So rose early, powered into that far corner is a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I was getting flashbacks to the Bergstaller, actually. Fucking absolutely piling one into the top corner. It was a great goal. I think he was saying it's the best goal he scored in his career. So I'm happy for him. Yeah,
it makes up for last week's header, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he was really happy to score today to put that one behind him.
Well, it's his third of the season, and all 3 have been with his head, so it's stick with what you know.
Yeah, long may it continue. But I get slightly worrying that he's our top goal scorer, or joint top goal scorer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, probably.
Alongside Eggestein. Yeah, maybe Medic.
All headers as well, no? So our top 2 goal scorers, central midfield, defensive midfielder. Is he defensive midfielder? No, box to box.
Yeah, he'd be.
And then
Maybe box
centre back. And then Medic centre back. So yeah, it's six goals from our top 2 goal scorers, and all 6 are headers. Fantastic.
If it works, it works.
Except, yeah, I mean, we'll take any goal anywhere at the moment, and
Honestly, yeah.
Pack it out of the assist there as well, which is good to see him. Other than that, we were in control for most of it. I mean, it's a bit of a frantic ending as we were searching for the win, so it's good that they were like bombing forward and such. But I mean, what was your take? Were you now you've had a chance to reflect as well, taking some of the beer out the equation? Is it still as dire as you thought it was, or?
No, it's just frustrating because it's much of the same. Like you mentioned there, that it was sort of frantic towards the end as we were pushing for a winner.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see some of that intensity and like will to win a bit earlier in the match, whenever there might have been more time to get on the score sheet. Because I don't know, maybe I think it's Schultz does like to have possession-based teams, and I suppose maybe that's not conducive to chance creation, ever playing it a bit too safe or something. But whenever they
Guardiola, it's
Pep Guardiola has a slightly bigger budget, I would say.
Yeah. No, fair enough. And I mean, we said it last time, right? That the goals, the thing, it's not about controlling games, it's not about everything in the final third seems to be not the problem, but where we're struggling with at the moment. So I guess it's just patience or trying to find the right formula or change of system, like three up front rather than 2 with a deeper midfield in Dashner.
But then that's going to take away from our fullbacks who like to get into those channels. And Saliakas hit the post, Paca got an assist. They seem to be where our 2 of our biggest like creative outlets. And I think I lost count of the number of times that the ball would get passed about in the midfield really nicely, and then it'd fall to the feet of one of our attackers, and that they lose it immediately.
Well, like so many 600 plus passes completed throughout the course of the game. It's just, I think it's nearly 3 times as many as Sandhausen. So it's just domination.
We're gonna have plenty more. Yeah, but this isn't the last time we'll be talking about this. I can guarantee you that.
That's true.
And especially whenever teams come to a Milan tour, a team like Sandhausen, who maybe aren't the best in the league, so they will sit back. They'll let us have the ball, and we can try passing them to death. But we need to have a plan B as well if that doesn't work.
That's true. I mean, do we keep harping on about this, or do we put that to bed for now? But yeah, 1-1 against Sandhausen. We've hit our head against the wall. Same old story. Look ahead.
I guess so, yeah. I trust the players and the coaching staff that I'm sure they're working on it on the training ground. Let's hope that it bears fruit and we get some decent results, because it's been, when was the last time we won a match? That's 3 draws in a row.
Against Magdeburg. Yeah. It's
not great.
We lost against Hansa, and then it's 3 draws. Yeah, it's but I mean, that's a nice tee up, Luke. When you compare it to our opposition that comes up next against Regensburg, they've had pretty much the same sort of form, but they haven't won. So they've lost 4 and drawn 1 in their last 5. It's really tricky going into the next game. So the form for Regensburg is lost 4, drawn 1. And the form for St. Pauli is drawn 3, won 1, lost 1. So at least our form is better than Regensburg.
It is, but I mean, we sort of, going into our last away match against Forth, they were also having an absolute stinker. Those ones always worry me a little bit, because I feel like sometimes they're a bit of a charity case, always giving these struggling teams a bit of a boost.
Well, to heap on their misery, I'm going to build this up for a massive failing here. They haven't scored in their last 6 games either. So we've got we've got
Jesus.
that in our locker at least, because at least we're scoring goals. But yeah, they've not scored in the last 6 games. They've conceded 15 plus or something, but they've not scored in 6. But
That is brutal. God help
yeah,
those fans. Imagine
but
6 matches on the bounce.
it's a 600-kilometer each way trip for us as well, to the Jahn Stadion in the Regensburg, so it's down in Bavaria, and it's going to be a very, very painful 1,200-kilometer round trip if we don't come back from that with something, or at least. So,
Do you reckon that the Regensburg fans will have the big arrows out pointing at the goal? Remember the Magdeburg fans did that a while back?
Yeah, when the team went a while without scoring.
Yeah.
They can't stop scoring at the moment, can they? I think Magdeburg have nailed that bit.
But yeah, 6 games without a goal. We can't keep a clean sheet, so I'd be surprised if they didn't end that run against us.
We said at the beginning no more clean sheet predictions, but now I'm tempted.
Yeah, something's got to give. Either Regensburg finally score a goal, or we finally keep a clean sheet. At least we only conceded 1 this time. That's the first time in a while we haven't conceded 2 or more.
Progress. Next time, if we keep going in that direction, then from 3, 2, 1, 0. Good.
We're moving in the right direction, as we said. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, also worth noting as well is that St. Pauli have only won once at Regensburg in the last 10 years. So it's not a friendly place for us. So the Regensburg, we've played 6 times at Regensburg in the last 10 years. And we've won once, which was last season just. And then Regensburg have won before, and we've drawn once. So I think that's not the relevant statistic that we need to pay attention to. It's more on current form we need to worry about. That would be good.
Yeah.
That's it's like a very bipolar messages coming through at the moment in terms of what's not favour or not. So I don't know. I think we'll come through strong.
Same lineup, do you think, or would you be?
I think it'll be the same.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll change the shape. I think the striking pair would stay the same with Aminido. Do you think Matanovic is ready again yet?
Another false dawn, yeah. Could be.
He's been coming on as a sub, and he had a good impact against, was it Paderborn? He won the penalty and set up, inverted commas, Metcalf for the equaliser when it ricocheted off the defender. So he had positive impact there, but I think he did anything against Sandhausen.
Yeah, I can't. Nothing of note anyway that I can remember. It might be time to start looking at that number 10 position. See whether or not someone else gets a go there.
Oh, you mean the Dashner role?
Yeah. Since he works hard, we've talked about it. He's a willing runner.
Yep.
He can press from the front, but just in terms of actually scoring or creating goals, I don't think we've really seen enough, have we?
No. I mean, I earmarked him to obviously score 1 or 2 in the game, but he came close but didn't materialise. And yeah, I mean, you can say it's just a matter of time, but time is something that we're running out of quickly. That's match days 7, 8. I can't remember, but yeah, it's we're nearly a quarter of the way through the season.
Shit, yeah. Fuck, right enough. That's wild.
Yeah.
He had a particularly good chance against Sandhausen. I don't know if you'd file it under a great save or should have done better, but he was goal was given 1-on-1 the keeper, and wasn't a bad shot, but the keeper just got a toe to it and put it around the post.
Yeah, great save then. Give Dashin a benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, anyone to look out for the Regensburg game? I saw Christian Witt is a former St. Pauli player who's there with us last season. He's not really played much, so I don't know whether he'll feature, but you just know that they're the kind of fuckers that come back and haunt you, right? So bit part player last season, sell him, hardly playing for them, not been in the matchday squad for the last couple of games, turns up, scores. Sounds
Yeah.
like but other than that, they've not really got much to offer. I couldn't see any team of the week nominations or anything like that. Obviously, with the recent form they've had, that's probably why.
Yeah, definitely why. As you said, they can't buy a win.
But I mean, on our side, any players that we want to be keeping a specific eyeball on?
Again, it's just going to be waiting for one of the first strikers to finally put the ball in the back of the net. I couldn't care less who it is. I just want them to start scoring.
So it's attack. That's what we want to keep. We're highlighting attack as an area of focus. I mean, as you said before, midfield is nailed. It's solid, probably the best in the league. Defense is pretty solid. It's starting to find its shape and feet again with Vasil back there. Yes, still conceding goals, but if nothing's happening at the top end of the pitch, it's very difficult for defence to do their job as well, right?
Yeah, on that point though, I think it's worth noting that we haven't had to talk about huge defensive mistakes as much as we were at the start of the season. Like that Nemeth and Medic centre back pairing is really starting to take shape. I'm liking it.
Yeah, cool. That's good. That's also worth noting. We don't want to just moan about the bad stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm conscious of that.
Right. Too many bastards.
Yeah, especially after a disappointing result. Who wants the fucking further misery on a Monday morning?
Yeah, positive out the glass half full. Oh shit, that's empty. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't think it's too much, but I did notice that the bookies have St. Pauli, and we're not a betting channel by any means. It's just as an indicator of where we stand in the neutral environment, and we are just about favourites. So what that says against a team that have lost 4 and drawn 1, and not scored in a while, that were just favourites. That's promising.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised at that actually.
I thought we'd been firm favourites, so yeah, I might have to activate my Tipico account, put €1 on, get my €1.20 back.
Mate, I'm raging because I was a friend of mine's first St. Pauli match there, and I was like, oh, we should stick a couple of quid on Jackson there trying to get the first goal. So it's just, I for some reason I thought he would get the first one today, and didn't materialise, didn't put any money on it, and of course that's what happens. Raging.
Man. Maybe if you contact the betting company and say to them nicely and explain to them, look, I was going to, I forgot. Right, sweet. So we did do predictions for this. So I put down 2-0 to St. Pauli, obviously, because I think we're going to get our shit together.
Jeez, yeah. I take a 2-0. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's happening. I think I go 1 each.
Yeah, you
because I don't think we can keep a clean sheet away from home.
Can we not tell you to go 2-1? Or is it second 1-1?
No, I'm going to stick with 1-1. I'm going to be pessimistic because anytime I get my hopes up, they just get thrashed. So, it's...
You refer to as a jinx, someone who's like, oh, we're going to win, lose. You say, we're going to lose or draw, win. Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, so I'll just say the opposite of what I think, and hopefully that it's a winning strategy. We'll see.
This way. I don't know if you follow Pauli the Cat on Twitter, who guesses the score. Last year he was bang on pretty much every week, but he's having a bit of a mare this year as well. Hopefully, like, what was the octopus from the World Cup when he's yeah. Brilliant. All right, sweet. There are a couple of other news tidbits that we wanted to touch upon as well. So it looks like the draw for the Pokal has been made, and we're going to see a familiar face. Yeah,
we forgot to mention that last week, actually.
Yeah, well, we kind of recorded it on the day of the draw, was it? But I think it's kind of forgivable. And the game's not happening for a while yet, so we have time.
Yeah, and I mean, we should say, we got drawn against Freiburg away.
Yeah, let's mention that. Queued it up beautifully and then forgot to say who it is. Oh, man.
They're absolutely flying this season as well. I think they were sitting top before the weekend. I think Union just overtook them now, but they're still sitting above Bayern and Dortmund, so it's nothing to turn your nose up at. And of course, we'll be seeing Kofi Kiri once again. It'll be interesting to see if he plays, because he's had a bit of a stuttering start to his career in Freiburg. He had a bit of a bad injury that he was recovering from. So it might be that he gets a run out in the cup. I guess it's hard for him if they're playing so well. It's going to be difficult for him to break in, because they don't want to change something that's not broken.
Yeah, it's depends on how things go in the league for them, right? If Chile is considered a second string or like backup player or not a first 11, then it might get a run out. But the game's on the 19th of October, so we've still got 4 games between now and then. And on the 15th, it's the derby against Haasbau. So we've got 4 days between that and the cup game. So it could be a big week.
Huge. Yeah, let's hope that there's no suspensions for the derby.
Yeah.
In particular, I'm thinking of Jackson. Obviously, he's already on 4.
Yeah.
Anytime he goes near a player now, I'm shitting myself that he's going to get booked.
Temperament, Jackson. Temperament.
Yeah. Oh, I just checked there. Kofi Kiri actually started for Freiburg yesterday against Mönchengladbach, but there was a 0-0 draw, so maybe he won't be featuring in the side anytime soon.
You can't put that all in his head, but I mean,
no, he's class. Like, he really is.
He got a good dollar for him, so I think he'll be like the fans will be quite receptive to him. I mean, he's a good lad.
Yeah, we miss him massively. Obviously, he's the best player in the league, in the Zweite Bundesliga last year by a long distance.
Step up, like some players just deserve that step up. And in my day job, we're just doing sets around Chile, and I think Becker features in it as well for Hoffenheim. I think we're Hoffenheim.
Oh, nice.
And then St. Pauli featuring a new thing as well. So I'll say about that in the near future. But yeah, my day job, just covering that right now. It's good fun.
Class. Looking forward to it.
Make sure to get Jackson Irvine and Packard out of both in it. So yeah, we'll see.
Nice one.
Nice. Alrighty. There's also the shout out as well. On doing this, we've been well received in the St. Pauli community. So a huge thank you for that. And one of the tweeters, what do we call it? Tweeters.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Twitter peoples so he's been reaching out to us quite often, which is great. So the Leftist Shirt Collective, and I don't remember his real name. I think he's messaged us, but really cool guy, and he's doing some really cool work over in New York with the Evolve campaign. So he's doing a lot of work on the ground, helping to make ends meet for those that are in need. So yeah, check out the site. It's evloves.nyc, and if you can help, feel free. But yeah, I'm over in New York in a couple of weeks with work. I'm going to be up front for coffee and maybe do a little interview with him or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. Sounds good.
Yeah. So yeah, awesome. Other than that, my friend, anything else?
No. We'll be back next week then.
Yes, I'm doing the game, so I'll be much more clued into the Regensburg game, and I'm doing the Freiburg game as well, which I'm excited about. Doing the cup game, so that'll be cool.
That'll be fun. Yeah, I'm glad that we're away next week, so my liver can take a break. It needs it.
You can just watch it in the pub.
Don't tempt me, honestly.
Yeah, all right, sweet. Well, hopefully your knee gets better soon, so I can see you on the pitch. But otherwise, absolute pleasure. It's always good, sir. Thanks for watching, tuning in, listening to us, watching us, whatever it may be. And if you like what you hear and see, probably not see because we look like shit today, but definitely what you hear, then please like, share, tell your mum, tell your friends, whatever it may be, and especially for St. Pauli fans.
Yeah.
In English, although most German people speak English too, so maybe them too. Can't hurt. But absolute pleasure. Take care. Speak soon, and until next weekend. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, Trev. Feel better.
All right. Thanks.
See you.